Well, hello, hello, hello. And apparently I am live. And I'm just waiting just a few minutes for our for my amazing partner in crime to show up for us to have a little fun tonight. So until she actually gets here, here I am. And I'm just going to make sure that I am streaming up. There she is. I'm going to make sure I'm streaming where I need to be streaming so we can have an amazing conversation. Hello there, Kitty. How are you?
I'm a little trouble. I have a little trouble hearing.
You're having trouble hearing me?
Yeah, that's all right. It's just
Are
my
you on
phone.
are you on your phone?
I'm on my phone.
Yes. Well, I would say this is sort of like a bite of Mercury retrograde since we are what today's the 6th and
Well,
Mercury goes
we're definitely in that shadow.
yes, yes, yes. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Kitty, as I make sure we are where we need to be streaming.
And I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Kitty Foss. I am your storytelling astrologer, co-founder of Intuition of the Soul, teacher of the group called Optimize, which has you studying your energy in your astrology chart so that you learn how to use it. And today I'm the forgetful one who forgot to write something on her calendar. So
Yes, I love when we are like, what live? The live that
hi.
we're supposed the live that we're supposed to be on in 2 minutes. But that's all good. That is all good. We are here now. And just gonna give a shout out to anyone who is gonna be watching on YouTube. We are streaming there. And I'm just checking in on my Twitter page. Yes, we're twitting there too. Yeah, okay. We're live there too. And we're going to land on my personal Facebook page. Let's see. Where am I? Hello. There we go. All right. So we are on the Facebook page as well, and I'm just going to invite some folks in. And in case some of you don't know who I am, which would be a really big surprise, but you know what? Some of you don't know who I am because I don't know, maybe you're just strolling by, and you're catching me for the first time. My very long name, Joanne Angel BarryColon. You're a certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck. Would you believe it, Kitty, that I actually had someone send me a message today asking me, what exactly do I do?
Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Someone actually asked me that question. What exactly do you do? And in my mind, I was like, okay, so that long bio that I say every time I introduce myself does not give people an idea of what it is I do. I find that to be really funny.
Well,
So if you had to put what I do into maybe one sentence or 3 words, what would that be?
I would say you are a holistic trainer of energy.
Holistic trainer of energy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, because I only can use one sentence.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
I'd have to go on and explain that. I mean, because you do the physical, you do the aura field, you do the emotional, you look at the medical component. So it's all those energies.
Yes. So I just really thought it was quite interesting. And I keep wanting to work on an article that breaks down what I actually do. And I think it's time to write that article to share out because it's amazing I can sit here and give you the whole list of everything I do. And it's like, well, what exactly do you do? I was like, okay, well, apparently my definition, my whole bio doesn't really break it down. So I have to work on that because if one person is questioning what it is I do, there may be a lot of other people out there kind of curious on what does she do?
Well,
so yeah.
That may be.
Yes, yes. So enough about what I do. Let's talk about what is doing with this title, Simple September.
Right, because she wrote back, you really want to call this Simple September? And I said, well, it kind of is a simple September. It's complicated energies, but simply handled is really about looking back, seeing how far you've come, and using that to help you not get yourself drawn into what is not simple for many people this September. So that's why I called it Simple September. And September is a marvelous month. So we are dealing with this shadow of Mercury retrograde, which is this, what is it? This Friday.
Yes.
And it's a big Mercury retrograde because Uranus is also retrograde, a higher expression of learning and a higher expression. So there's a lot of information coming through for us right now. And overload. It'd be really easy to get into overthinking, overspeaking. Venus went into Virgo on the 4th, and in Virgo, she is really about the heart and all the pieces and nurturing, and at the same time, she's a bit nitpicky. It can be, and which means communication may be kind of nitpicked. People will hear you say something and come up with a whole different meaning. And being aware of that is important because it's not personal.
Yeah, and when we think about that in general, I mean, I don't think we need to have Venus in Virgo or Mercury in retrograde in Libra for communication to be misunderstood.
Right.
You know, when we think about it, there's this amazing program called, oh my God, what's it called? I forget what it's called, but active listening, where when someone actually says something, that person then asks the person who they're speaking to repeat back what they heard. Because again, we can't change how someone hears something. You know, so if I said something to Kitty and then I asked Kitty to repeat back what she heard I said, then that's how she heard it. Now, if that's not how I meant for her to hear it, I then have to clarify it even more for Kitty to then understand what it is I'm trying to say. So we don't need planets to be in retrograde for us to be miscommunicating, because we do that without any help.
Right. And now we've got some help.
Yes. Now we can sit back and blame, which we're really good at doing, blaming something for why the communication is not flowing the way it usually does, or theoretically how it usually flows without a retrograde period. But then in addition to our Mercury retrograde and Uranus retrograde, we have other planets in retrograde too that is causing a lot of energy to, how would you say, I'm going to say energy moving, because I've actually spoken to a handful of people over the last couple of days, and there is a lot of people in the process of packing bags and relocating.
Yeah, it's this particular one. There's been a relationship with the planet of structure and the planet of chaos and awakening for about the last year and a half. That would be Saturn and Uranus, and because of that and all of this retrograde, this is a quantum reprogramming, a quantum moving, a quantum, and that's why, like you said, it's not hard to already have that in normal. But with all of those things going on, it's very, very important. First of all, we surrender that we don't have the ability. And often part of what we hear, I love your comparison with active listening, is about our judgments. So that's why it's really important actually right now to stop, look at where we've been as we surrender, and use that energy of, wow. And I was thinking about that today when we were driving down here. I'm at a lake house in Maine on my way to Salem tomorrow. And I was thinking about, wow, even as little as a year ago, certain things I would think and think about, and now it's like, I really don't care. You know, I've been able to really step away. And there are times where you don't step away. And that's one of those times. Right now, we're in a period of look at what the mirrors are around you. Again, you know, this September can be simple if we approach it that way. We know there's going to be bumps. We know there's going to be those things. And what mirrors are we looking in? What are we seeing around us? and looking at why are we seeing it and looking back where we've been. So does that make sense to you?
I think it makes a lot of sense. And then in addition, we're going to jump a little bit from astrology to numerology just for a second. When we think about this September's energy of 9, now that 9 energy carries this, well, September's energy for that matter, because it's a 9, it carries the energy of the from January right through September. So evaluating, as Kitty said earlier, evaluating everything that has gone, that has shifted in your life since January to now, recognizing your big shifts, recognizing what's changed for you, recognizing where you were in January and where you are now mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and also on an intellectual perspective as well. What have you learned about yourself in these last 9 months? And there's a lot of growth, I do believe, that every one of us have learned about ourselves in the last 9 months. It's almost like, as we'd say, it's literally birthing something.
Yes, so it is.
That could be something that you can look at in reference to what have you birthed in the last 9 months. Now, what I want to try to grab, which is sitting right over here, as long as I don't knock down everything while I'm trying to grab, I'm going to grab my book, because I want to look at something for all of us, just in case you're wondering what book. Healing with Numbers. It's available on Amazon if anyone's interested. And what I'm looking for, I'm loving the fact that I fell right to it. On page 37, for those of you who might want to get the book, I break down all the months in reference to what the actual month itself, what energy that month carries. And we take every letter in the month of September, and we add those letters up, because every letter is associated with a specific number. So September, yes, is the 9th month of the year. But when you add those letters up, it actually comes out to a 40, which then in single digits is a 4. So September's actual energy really carries a 4 vibration, which is about working on letting go, completions, and major transformations within your foundation. And I think many of us are in the process of doing that, where we're literally breaking things down, because many people are, as I mentioned, moving, so they can move into their new foundation. So I was kind of curious to know what September's energy in itself meant, because of course I can't remember all the stuff, keep it in my mind, I'd be overloaded. But that's what September's all about. It's really a 4 vibration of we are transforming, letting things go, completing something, and building a new foundation. So I love that energy.
Well, and that really does, because one of the things we're doing in this time of Virgo, the most misunderstood sign of the zodiac, Virgo is a problem solver. Yes, it can seem nitpicky, but that's because it gets it. There's a lot of information in the smaller pieces. It's really getting ready for this soul light Libra time, where right now we're figuring out how to be together, how not to be activated by things that don't really belong to us. And that's what this whole communication. Now it's interesting because Venus is speeding through Virgo. We have this interesting Mars coming that will go retrograde at the end of October. And Mars does not go retrograde between 24 and 26 months, so it's not very often. And Mars usually stays in a sign about 5 to 7 weeks, and it's in this sign between the retrograde and then moving forward again till it's till March of next year. So this is a long time that we have this Mars energy in Gemini, which is the spark with the thoughts. And that's what this about this. Lots and lots of communication, new things coming forward, including new ways to deal with old relationships. So there's a lot happening. And that makes sense with 4, because that's a stabilizing vibration. And so, this is the harvest. We're bringing those pieces back. We're getting ready, aligning things for the months to come. And boy, there's some things coming in early 2023 that we've been working on for almost 2 years.
Wow, wow. What I like to do, only because I cannot see comments. Are you able to see comments, Kitty, on your
No,
end?
because I'm on my phone.
Okay, yes, yes. I cannot see comments on my Facebook page. I know that Sue said that she's here because I just sent her a message letting her know that we were on. But for those of you who are on and I'm not saying hello to you, it's just because I can't see any comments. I just went to the actual page itself to see if there was any comments there, but I'm not seeing any comments there neither. So I don't know what's going on with the comments. So if you are there and I'm just not recognizing you, I'm not seeing you, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's just that I can't see any comments, which then means I will definitely come back later and say hi to everybody who has commented. So feel free just to put your comments in, say hi, let us know how all of this is resonating with you. Let us know if you have any big moves going on right now, if you're doing major decluttering. I know that Sue has. She's been doing that for quite some time now. So let us know what's
She's
going
been
on.
doing an awesome job at it too.
Yes, she has. Yes, and we want to recognize that because decluttering sometimes can become a little overwhelming. I know for myself, if I were to show you what my living room looked like right now, you'd be like, what the hell hit that? Because it looks like a tornado hit it. And the same way some of my space in my studio is looking like right now. It's like, wow. So it could become a little overwhelming when we're in that process of decluttering. But know that the end result will definitely be so worse, the process of decluttering.
Right.
So I'm loving that. So, Kitty, when you speak about the energy that's coming in 2023, would you care to share a little bit about that?
I would really love to share great details, except I don't have any. Part of that is this. It's very interesting you should say that, because this time is a time of surrender. There's a lot of information coming forward, and this early 2023 it's the way that I would describe it is we're on the taxi of the runway now, and starting in December, that plane is taking off. Really, October is when we're cleared from the tower and we have directions to know where we're going. And so it's not a matter of it will be revealed over time. It's just around the corner. But part of that is this co-creation month that is this September, finding those people that mirror what you need to know, finding your soul tribe so you can get the information and process it, and not, this full moon is in Pisces is on the 10th. So that's this Saturday. And one of the things it is about your imagination and your dreams, but it's not to get caught into the suffering. And I had there's an astrologer I followed, and I love how she said it. She said, this is not the time to become a TikTok master about everything that bugs you on the street. This is the time to not get involved in that and be using that same TikTok time to talk about what we can be. So I thought that was lovely.
Yes, I like that. I like that. I like that whole process in reference to that TikTok. And I also like the fact on how you use the expression about being on the plane and going down the runway. When we think about this energy that we are coming in, I know I probably said this in our last live together, but for those of you who didn't hear it or didn't watch the last live, I like to believe that the ninth month is basically the ending of the year. Intuitively speaking, many intuitives, and I've spoken to lots of intuitives, we all share the same belief that September is really the ending of the year of 2022, or any year for that matter, and that October really is the beginning of the new year. So for many of us, we are starting to feel the energy of 2023. And again, we're going to just talk about numerology just for a moment. In 2022, we're in a 6 energy year, which is about healing, mind, body, and spirit. As we move into 2023, we're moving into a 7 energy year. And that's a very different energy overall, because 7 is about our spiritual awakening. And every one of us, and I like to say it this way, whether we are conscious of it or not, are going to experience a spiritual awakening. And I like to believe that I like to say it this way. When you are more aware of what's going on around you on a energetic sense, it makes it a little easier to go through the transitions that we're going to be going through. Whereas when you are not that aware of what's going on around you energetically, it almost will feel like you're stuck. Like I was actually saying to a client today that almost everybody I know are experiencing some sort of transformation, a change in something. And she was telling me about a friend of hers that she was having this conversation with, and her friend said, "Well, there's nothing changing in my life. Everything's exactly the way it is." And my client, who's her friend, she looked at her and says, "There's nothing changing in your life?" She goes, "No, everything is exactly the way it is." So I made the comment, because I make this comment a lot to people who might say that. I'm like, are you living under a rock? Because I can't imagine anybody right now in this very moment that we are in with 7 planets in retrograde not going through something. But there's the perfect example of not being energetically aligned to knowing that if you're not going through something, and I'm going to say this with the most compassionate kind of way I can say it. If you feel like you're not going through something right now, and most of everybody is, chances are what you are going through is stagnation. You're stuck. That's where I would label it, is that you're stuck. You've chosen to be where you are, and you're not ready to take that step for whatever the reasons are. And there's nothing wrong with being stuck if that's where you choose to want to be. But the big question that you might want to ask yourself right now is there something I would like to change?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be changing your job, changing what goes on at your job, changing your income, changing your health, changing the relationships you have with people, including yourself. So if that word change shows up in your mind, then theoretically, there's something you need to do for that change to happen. And you're the only one that can take the action for that change to happen. Kitty, what do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? What is your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, I mean, never judge yourself where you are on your journey. So if stagnation is where you are, that's such a hard concept for me because of course, I'm a North Node in Virgo, which is always looking to solve where the next step is. Because your North Node is your soul's highest goal. And so in Virgo, it's always noticing little pieces and it's very busy, very busy. And so it's very hard for me to understand that nothing would be changing because I'm pretty sure I would be stepping in to change something. But if that's where you are, then maybe you're just supposed to hold still until it's very clear where your next step is. But it is about the awareness of that. That's for sure. You
Yes.
know, I can't even, and it might be that this person says nothing's changing, and yet somebody else who knows their life would go, wait a minute, what about maybe change is so constant, it's just part of their life.
Exactly. And two, as you say that, the other thing we want to make note on is sometimes the changes aren't in regards to like what you actually see around you. Sometimes the change could be going on with your actual own emotions on how you're dealing with
Mm-hmm.
different things. So
Yeah.
they may not be as obvious as, let's say, you're packing a box or you're taking things out of a room or you're getting in your car and you're going to relocate 500 miles away. So change could be really small. So take note of what it is that you are, where it is that you are in your life.
It's very hard for me to believe that anybody coming out of 2020 is saying that.
Exactly. Well, that's pretty much my point. It's like, okay, we've all experienced something quite evolutionary since 2020. And here
Mm-hmm.
we are 2022. So I'm sure, again, sometimes people may be so, I don't know, maybe disconnected with what is going on in their life that they don't recognize that, oh, this is a change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay too. That's okay.
Or they're just in such constant change that becomes how they operate. And so that feels like nothing's changing because it's always changing.
Exactly, exactly. So
So,
yeah, so
and you know, to answer your question, that's the trick with manifestation, isn't it? Is where's my awareness and do I put it in the area I want and already see it as mine?
yes, there was something you had said yesterday. I think it was yesterday. No, Sunday. Today's Tuesday. I am so lost on my days of the week this week. It's not funny.
Time
You
is a little weird right now.
Yes, you had said something when working with Joe Monkman, you know, on your Sundays live,
Hmm.
and it was something about staying focused on the positive.
Staying focused on what you want to see and send ahead of you. Any situation that you see, that's why it's important right now to stop and look back and look where you've been so you can use that discernment to look at what's going on around you. So the energy you send ahead is what you want to greet. You know, just like we're talking about that full moon. I don't want to be the TikTok about, did you believe what this waitress did? And, you know, this is about where you put your attention is what you're magnifying in the energy. So what you focus on is what you create.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
Yes, and I mean, I think that's an overall everyday process. It's not just during this full moon. It's really what you are focused on is what's going to be your outcome. So again, if you want to focus on creating whatever it is you want to create, that perfect relationship, that perfect job, that perfect income, perfect health, stay focused on that perfect and
mhm.
see it come to manifestation. So, Kitty, you want to pull some cards? I know that you didn't. You totally forgot that we were doing this today. Do you have cards with you?
Well, you know, because I keep thinking today's Monday and today's Tuesday.
Yes, today is Tuesday. I kept thinking I didn't know what day it was. I was like, "What the hell day?" In fact, as I was checking off my attendance list for today, when I track my clients who come in, I looked and I noticed I wrote that today was Monday, September 5th. I'm like, today's not Monday, it's not September 5th. I'm like,
No,
wow.
and it's funny because when you call me, I'm thinking, I looked at the calendar this morning. I looked at Monday.
Yes.
So that's why it, you know, because I'm like, oh, I wrote this down. Did I write it on the wrong date? Well, no, but if you look at the wrong date, that's kind of part of what's going on too, is time is a little just strange,
Yes, it is. Yes, it
you
is.
know,
So do
and
you,
I have no cards sitting here right now.
all right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a few cards
I'll
and
see
what
what
I
I get from your cards too.
there you go. I was just about to say we don't need cards all the time. It's my favorite tool. So let's see. Whoops, they all want to fly out. We don't want them all to fly out. Oh, perfect card. New beginnings. New
Mm.
beginnings. I think that's a really perfect card because I think many of us are on our journey to a new beginning. That 10 energy is so perfectly aligned with our Pluto Capricorn energy in reference to lots of new beginnings with people's jobs, transitioning out of one and moving into something new or a raise or whatever that might look like for somebody. And crown chakra. This is really about stepping into your higher consciousness. This is about stepping out of the old version of yourself and seeing yourself where you would like to be, seeing yourself already there. So, as Kitty said before, using your imagination, and with the full moon in Pisces, this is a perfect time to use your imagination. Start spending some time in dreamland in your wake
Hmm.
and start to imagine what that new job is going to feel like for you, or start to imagine what that new relationship is going to feel like, or that new home, or whatever it is that that new beginning is about. So you get to be in your imagination, you get to create that. And by being in your imagination, the fun thing is that the universe has absolutely no idea that it is happening or not happening. So the universe is then going to match what it is you are sitting in your imagination on. So make sure it's a high vibration, because why would we want to imagine something that's a low vibration? So utilize this time to do just that. 10 energy of your soul's purpose. And
That's really important because we do tend sometimes to anticipate something. And again, right now it's really very easy with this, all of this Gemini energy around, to be overthinking, and this other Mars energy. And when you hear yourself going through those scenarios in your head and saying, well, she says this, I'm going to say this, or, finding yourself nitpicking something, this is a good time to go, let me look at where I've been. This isn't really what I want. This isn't how I want my head to be talking all the time. And really looking at what is it I can do, being creative to kind of redirect that energy.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. So the crown is something I like for everybody to focus on. Clear the energy from your crown. So if you are experiencing, and I want to put this out there as well, for those who are experiencing, let's say, headaches or migraines, or just like overwhelming thoughts, that's your crown chakra. And with all this amazing energy we have going on, that could either be your crown is trying to expand, and sometimes metaphysically, you will experience a headache or migraines. And also, it's your crown chakra expanding. I just heard to say that twice. So that's what I was going to do. They just said, just leave it that way. Crown chakra's expanding. Whether you work on your chakras or not, the crown chakra's expanding. Visualize this beautiful purple light that just comes out from the top of your head, and just see it expanding upward. Next card. Interesting. Our card's in reverse here. Now, for those of you who are not sure what a reverse means, it just means that we have a little bit of resistance to this. And it does make sense to have a little bit of resistance based on what Kitty was just saying. Compassion. Where sometimes we're not as compassionate to ourselves as we can be. And that also means being more compassionate to others as well. Being understanding that we really have no idea what the other person is going through in their life right now. So if you can just send out a little compassion, a little bit of love to everybody around you, that would be really, really nice. Our number 4 and 9, we're back to that 4 energy, your foundation. Being compassionate to yourself and your foundation as well. Third eye. So we went from crown down to third eye, where we get to utilize our imagination. We get to visualize what compassion looks like and send that compassion out to everybody. What are your thoughts on that one, Kitty?
I think it's especially to understand that same nitpicky energy we're talking about, the same really is also for yourself. If you can start with compassion for yourself, true compassion, and give yourself true grace, it's a fine line, taking responsibility and having compassion and grace. And when you practice that, it's all a practice. This isn't something anybody has like the magic touch for. It's like, this is a practice. And the more I practice for myself, the more I can give it to others, because that's what this co-creation month is about. And again, the more I practice it with others, the more I can recognize it for myself.
Yeah.
Who's your mirror right now? Who are you spending your time with?
Exactly. And what I also want to bring up with this card, not just specifically this card, but specifically for Sue, because she had sent me a message, because I'm not seeing the comments, that her birthday was on September 4th. And we spoke about the 9-4 before, and now here it's showing up again. So Sue, if you're watching, there must be something going on in this rebirth, because birthdays are about rebirths, birthdays are about new beginnings. So there must be something going on for you to really pay attention to, since this number keeps showing up and you're here with us. So sit quietly and see what needs to be revealed based on your birthday month. I'm loving that.
And that was the day that Venus moved into the Virgo.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. All right, we're going to do one more and see what shows up. Oh, loving this one. Success. Success. Isn't this something fun to use our imagination on? Success. Using your imagination to bring success into your life. Focusing on what I'm hearing loud and clear is everything that you touch turns to success, is what I just heard. Everything that we touch turns to success. And I'm going to say that again. Everything that we touch turns to success. Now, the chakra here is the solar plexus. So this is really abundance. It's trusting this process that we are all in right now. Trusting that as we are going through these major shifts in our lives, it's taking us to where we need to go. And if we recognize that we already have success in our lives, appreciate the success. Now let's talk about number 8. So Kitty, talk to me about number 8 in astrology, and then I'll talk about it in numerology.
8 is the infinity sign. 8 is the change happens just before, and it's the house of transformation. It's the, the 8th house on the zodiac sign is the infinity of the shadow and the light, and going into the darkness to get the light. And it's about owning your own power to transform and be who you want to be. It's Scorpio.
Yes. And in numerology, very similar to what Kitty said regarding astrology, which is why numerology and astrology are so powerful together, because their meanings are really similar. So in numerology, it is about that balance, that harmony. It's about the achievements, what you've achieved. It's about your success. It's about fame, and also infinity as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is reminding us that we are literally moving into a space of success. We are moving forward into success, and to trust that you are moving forward into success, and that everything we're going to do is going to lead to more success.
Would you read the names of the cards in order? It was quite the story, how you pulled them.
Yes, we have the crown. And now, because I shuffled the cards, I'm not going to be able to find them in the order anymore. But we had the crown chakra, and that was 10, and that was new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the indigo, which was 49, and compassion. It's amazing on how I remember this. And then we have our success, solar plex, and 8. So we have 8, 49, and 10.
Which is the story of these new beginnings, when we have compassion for what's happening for us, for other people in their new beginnings. Remember, everybody, whether they want, this is a ready or not, here we come kind of energy. These new beginnings, if we have compassion, there's the success we're hoping for.
There you go. There you go. And when we add our numbers together, interesting enough, we have 8, we have 4, we have 1. So 8 and 1 is 9. 9 and 4 comes to 13. Brings us
4.
right back to our foundation.
Can't make this stuff up, can you?
We cannot make this up, even if we tried.
Yeah.
So again, Kitty, as usual, I always love playing, coming together, sharing insight, and
I do too. And this is a very important month of getting it together, and it's to co-create, but it's co-creating for your best interest. So again, it's the people you decide to do this with. If you want to jump into the middle of the drama this month, that's what you're going to be co-creating with. So
yes. And I myself, if I'm going to co-create, I'm going to co-create with Kitty. You know,
me, Joanne. So it's yes.
It's just a much more fun co-creation than to co-create with drama.
Yes, much more.
So, like to thank everyone who's with us, and again, my apologies. I cannot see any comments right now. I don't know why I can't see any comments, but Facebook does that every once in a while. I will.
Hey, it's Mercury and Uranus together too. You know.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm on Monday. Time is a very strange concept this week.
And then we also had yesterday off. So, theoretically, many people may be a little off track because of not having Monday to work. I know. Well, I didn't work on Monday. Actually, now that I say that,
I didn't either. Oh, we did Vibe last night. That was the only thing I did. So
yeah. I mean, I work? What did I do?
it's not really work though.
Yeah, I didn't really actually work. I did a lot of decluttering, but not work. So yeah,
A different kind of work.
exactly. So
So
anyway, again, Kitty, thank you so much for being here with
thank you,
me.
Joanne.
And for everybody who is watching, thank you. And those who will be watching, whether you're watching on Twitter, YouTube, or our personal page here, feel free to leave your comments and I'll come back and check them out. Until next time, Kitty, we'll have some
Thank
more
you.
fun. But for now,
Simple
everyone,
September.
simple September. Remember success, compassion, and new beginnings. How
Yeah.
exciting is that? All right, guys.
Bye.
Oh, reading comments now on the page. So we have Sean Williams who's here. Lots of comments from Sean Williams. So let me see. She says, "Hello, ladies." She's doing major decluttering. Awesome. Time is crazy. Yes, it is. And she loves Kitty. So thank you, Sean Williams, for being here. And because I made my page smaller, I was able to actually see the comments from StreamYard, but I still can't see a damn comment on my Facebook page. Till next time, guys. Have a goodie.
Bye-bye. Thank you.